It's the Opie and Anthony Show. Fallout Boy, I don't care. Catchy as hell, Pete. Pete Wentz in studio. How are you, sir?
Pretty good. Getting up for the day, I guess.
I hear you.
Too early or what?
No, I'm still on LA time, so it's like 4:30, I guess.
Yeah, then it's even better.
Right now, it's early for me.
Do you wake up or just kind of stay up?
No, I wake up. Yeah. I wake up. I try to get
You get a few hours sleep in.
Yeah.
Not living that rock star thing where, you stay up all hours and don't wake up till noon.
No, not really. I guess the big elephant in the room is that I have a kid.
Yeah.
So it's a little harder to do that.
Seemed like a good idea at the time, huh?
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where I'm up every 3 hours anyway, so it's not that big of a deal.
You were the DJ at a party I was at. It was the UFC party when Forrest Griffin beat Rampage Jackson that weekend, and it was Dana White. It was the worst party ever. There was like 90 guys and 2 prostitutes dancing with UFC guys. It was the worst. It wasn't the music that was bad. It was just the fact there were no chicks there. What the hell is the UFC doing?
I don't know. I know that I played a lot of really bad 80s music. I remember that. That was one of the problems. I remember the music was a little too quiet.
Yeah.
And I remember when Rampage walked by me, I thought I was literally going to be murdered. I was like 4 inches away from him, and it was the scariest moments of my life.
That was the fight where he had problems afterwards, right?
Yeah, he was probably on his energy drink binge by that point.
Because we've had him in, and he couldn't have been nicer and sweeter. We love Rampage, and we hear he's back on track, which is very, very good news.
No, the problem wasn't the music. It wasn't the music at all. It was literally Dana's invite guest was all men, and I was very creeped out by it. It was just me and stupid Bob Kelly standing there.
You would think the women would love the UFC thing, right?
You'd think.
But no.
No.
All right, we're going to have to... Dana's a good friend of ours. We're going to have to call him and ask him about that.
I think they like some of the guys, but then they watch it for 2 seconds and realize that they're complete maniacs.
Yeah.
They kind of think, they probably picture in their head, I burned dinner one night. What's that going to be like?
Yeah.
There's no tapping out on the kitchen floor. You're pretty much taking your beating.
Well, this is what I do for a living. What's wrong, right?
Yeah.
We have, I guess we have to ask you, because our Sam put pictures of your penis, which, look, we've all done it. I mean, please, what's the use of technology if not to do that and send it to somebody? Of course.
What is the point of a camera phone, right?
I'm with you.
Yeah.
What happened? Did the fan you send it to, like give it out, or did it, how did that get out?
Well, what I think, the way I think it got out was it was sent to an ex-girlfriend, and I think that is how it got out. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you, whatever. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, you must have leaked it on your own because it's like it makes your band way bigger, this and that. I'll be honest. There's a lot of better ways to make your band bigger than to... it's like having the entire world walk in on you taking a dump.
It doesn't hurt, though.
How can an ex-girlfriend not be trusting?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, too, that what you should have done is, because the giveaway is the tattoo, because you got the stomach tattoo. It's like, next time you do that, you should just leave the T-shirt down. Make sure the tats are covered. If the tats are covered, they can never prove it's your hobby.
Jim's a pro at this.
Jim knows how to do this the right way.
I always position my camera so there's no giveaways. There's nothing like me in the room.
It's like your new book is right there.
Yeah, exactly. Or there's like a mirror showing my fat face on the side. I always make sure it's just...
You ever see some of those things? I don't know if they're scams or not, but an old teapot that was being sold on eBay, and you could see the guy's reflection in it as he was taking the picture of it, and he's completely naked.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You could see a subtle reflection of him, just gut hanging out. Schlong.
That is crazy.
It's the kind of reaction you get from that. You get like, hey, hi, how you doing?
So, John Mayer's...
Nice one, something like that.
John Mayer's... Oh, go ahead.
Well, Anthony's asking about Pete's compliments on his penis.
Yeah. Asking if you've gotten compliments.
I mean, I don't know. People always talk to me about it and, whatever, think it's, I've gotten past it, whatever. There was, a 24-hour period where I was, literally didn't want to talk to anybody, but now I don't really care. It's kind of funny. It's it's weird because, when you're on tour, and you're in arenas, you take, jailhouse showers. That's what the showers are set up like. Mm-hmm. And now I don't care about it at all. It's like I can just walk around and it doesn't really bug me, Before it was like, oh my God, I better wear my bathing suit in there. Now it's like everybody's seen the machinery, and might as well. It doesn't really matter,
Just Scrub-a-dub.
Yeah.
Was that the first one you took and sent? Because I'll just describe the pictures briefly, not to harp on them in a homoerotic fashion, but I believe me, I understand the setup. There's a lot of angles you got to take. You want it to look very natural and
impressive.
Yet, you don't want it to look like you just stepped out of a freezing shower.
You got to prepare it properly.
Were these just like the first shots you took, or was there a couple that you took that you deleted? You're like, no, that's no good. That's no good.
I'm sure I did.
Yeah.
I mean, the beauty of the camera phone is that you take a bad angle and you're like, oh man, I should have shot my dong from the left side. You know. I don't know.
I actually positioned a midget next to mine. So it just looked.
One of those small cans of Coke.
Yeah, like a little mini Baby Ruth bar. All right, good. So, what were you saying about John Mayer?
Well, we're trying to figure out this guy crush thing there, Pete, to be completely honest with you. Sam, what were you saying just before Pete came in? I want to make sure we don't misrepresent this.
No, I just said when I was doing my research online, it said that what he said was that above the waist, it's all good, but below the waist on guys, he's not interested in that.
Right. But you would kiss another guy?
I think this was said probably, about 5 or 6 years ago, something like that. And that was more in it was kind of like a shock value thing, but it was kind of more in the way that, I'd be going down the street and someone would be like, hey, you're I don't want to say it on air, whatever word for gay people.
Derogatory
term for gay people. And I'd be like, if that's the worst someone's going to say about me, I would be like, yeah, sure, I am one. Who cares? Whatever. But, there was never a point where I was like, hey, I'm really into men or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, at the same time, can I sit here and tell you, Johnny Depp, I know Johnny Depp's a good-looking guy? Yeah, he is. I think he is a good-looking dude, whatever. Do I want to, give him a BJ? No.
Would you snuggle with him?
No.
All right. It's because the weird thing is, when I was a kid, I had this thing with Kiss when I was a little boy, and it was almost like I have to look at it and go, that it was beyond just being a kid liking. Did I have a thing for them? I wanted them to hug me. It wasn't like I just rocked out with
as
them.
a band?
Yes.
The whole band? There wasn't just one guy?
I think Paul was my favorite.
Paul?
Yeah, of course. But I wanted them to hurt me.
Run your fingers through his hairy chest?
No, I didn't want to do that. But
no?
No.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Okay, just asking.
Or maybe we think that anytime you have an affectionate feeling for another man, that there's got to be some homoeroticism to it, and it's not.
Right.
Yeah, it's not. You could just be buddies.
But you wanted to be held by Kiss. I mean,
yes,
you tell
much.
that classic story where what was it? It was a dream or something?
No, it was a recurring daydream where Kiss would beat me, and this is the truth, they would hurt me and throw me down the stairs with their makeup on, and then they would hug me and love me and make everything better while I cried. And that was when I was 7 and 8 years old.
Ghoul you
that
are.
was my recurring fantasy. Is that they would, it's all right, and they would just comfort me and wipe my tears. Just
but
creepy.
they did it.
Have you guys had him in?
Oh, and he made me actually tell
times.
Paul Stanley the story. It was
many
amazing.
times. Yeah,
and Paul
awesome.
hugged me. Yeah, it was kind of nice.
Paul hugged you. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but Anthony hates Gene Simmons. But let's not bring it up right now.
Gene's a tool.
That could take away from the Pete Wentz interview that is going down right now.
You now in 2005, is this accurate? We never know if our stuff is accurate or not. Did you really take an overdose on purpose? Was that were you really going to check out?
I think it was like a shut my head off kind of thing. I've never sat here. Everyone else sat here and said, oh, it's a suicide attempt. You were trying to kill yourself. But you know what? At that point of my life, I just wanted to turn my head off. I wanted to turn my brain off, kind of.
What was going on with it?
Man, so much. I was I was being prescribed a lot of stuff, and I was mixing them together because I thought I knew better than the doctor. And the more stuff you mix together, the stranger your brain chemistry gets, and you start thinking weird things. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't smart. I wouldn't recommend anyone do it. I'm glad a lot of people were like, yo, that was your best record. Those are the best shows I ever saw. Like, dude, those 4 years or 3 years of my life were a total haze where I hated myself and didn't want to be around. And so I'm glad I made it out. And so for when people go, oh, that was awesome, it's kind of always weird for me because I'm like, I didn't even like myself then at all.
I got to ask you, what was the weirdest thought you had during that period that you could remember? Because I think that's really, really interesting.